Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. Eduardinho with a bling.
Oh,
What's
come
happening?
on.
Oh my God. Talk me through it.
This is
Can you flex it to the camera so we can see
this is a
what's...
gift from AJ
Yeah.
that he gave me today.
Okay.
It is, I mean, very heavy.
Is it?
Oh, it's
Can I
obviously,
have a-
I know
feel
it's
the
not
weight?
really me.
No,
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
not. If I turned up in that, you'd kill me.
I wouldn't.
But then it's also not
No,
a
that-
gift
this
from
is
AJ.
you. No, but
it's
you're
not,
like
no,
more
it's not,
like-
it's not. What do you think of this old...
Absolutely awful. I mean, you've got a cat across your pelvis. You've got 3/4 length jean
jorts
shorts.
are back in, bro.
What?
Jorts are back in.
Charlie, 3/4 length jeans have
No, they're
never
not
been...
3/4 lengths. They're
How are
like
they not
shorts
3/4
that
length?
just
They're
hang
in between
below the
your
knee.
knee
no,
and your foot.
3/4 would be like here.
They've never been in. They'll never be in.
They're in.
They're not.
They're in.
They're not.
You're wearing a V-neck.
So?
Scandalous.
It's not. It's double cheek about. I've been neck gains.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what it is with this is a very emotional piece.
Yeah.
You know. So if you look at it, it's got 258.
Yeah.
Which is basically work a day longer and
An extra hour of the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Extra day in a week.
and then
hour.
it's got EH.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
And then on the back it says clean hearts win.
Okay.
All right, which is very important. So I'll put it inside the V-neck
Cool.
for the.
No, I think you've got to don it now.
You reckon?
Yeah. Jeez.
I don't know.
Let's talk about the fight. What happened in the old...
Lively.
Is it another situation of Daniel Dubois sort of out of nowhere?
No, I think that he's like, people have got into him to be more vocal, and I think now he's actually, I don't think Frank was saying to him at the face-off, say this. I just think it's become more natural for him now. So it was at the end of the face-to-face where someone said, September 21st, guys, and not before, and Daniel said, well, if you want to go now, I'll go now as well. And AJ said, do you want me to smash this chair across your face? Don't ever disrespect me like that again, and went for it. And then they all sort of had to be pulled apart.
Did it feel... Was AJ in, like, you know, like...
No, obviously I
sometimes
got
it's
in the
a
middle. I just,
no. Guns
No,
come
there
in
wasn't
and
any
push.
punches thrown, but
No.
like, that's the one thing when you say that to AJ, it's a bad move. But it was a really good face-off.
We sort of expected it. I know you were never going to quite give it away in interviews and stuff. We are here now. What was the sort of process, negotiations in the bit? Was it as straightforward as it probably was going to be?
I said, like, if the fight's for the world heavyweight title, it's on. You know, we had options. I'm so pleased that Dubois has been elevated to world champion because we can dethrone a world champion, and that'll be all of AJ's world championship victories, beating a champion, which is really important. Daniel's done really well. You know, it was a good win against Miller. It was a really good win against Hrgovic. And he deserves a big fight. It's a dangerous fight for both men, but one we're very confident about. You know, 100,000 people at the National Stadium, 2 Brits fighting for the world heavyweight title on an incredible card. You know, you've seen the names up there. And another Riyadh season event, but this time outside of Riyadh. And of course, we have our Riyadh season event on August the 3rd as well that we're working on. So just amazing times. And we're on a plane tomorrow for BAM against Estrada. Jeez. I mean, it's absolutely on fire at the moment.
In terms of being back at Wembley for AJ1, but also just for Matchroom as a whole, that's another special feeling.
Yeah, I mean, we had the greatest nights here. You know, this is the 4th time we've promoted at Wembley, the 3rd time AJ's headlined at Wembley. It's the National Stadium. I mean, it's 100,000 people. It's just going to be an incredible spectacle. And, you know, we couldn't have put a card on like this. You know, we've done good cards in the past. This is every one of those fights is a headline fight, you know, and it's just a massive event.
What does being a 3-time heavyweight champion mean to yourself? And I just spoke to
Well,
AJ.
it's not me, is it?
No, but like yourself and Matchroom, you've guided his career,
Listen,
right?
I said to him after he got beat by Usyk, you will become a 3-time world heavyweight champion and you will become undisputed. And the path has been a little bit rocky initially. Now we're absolutely cooking on gas. I truly believe AJ is going to win this fight and become undisputed. He will fight the winner of Usyk against Fury. That's not His Excellency's plan. That's my manifestation.
Okay.
And I truly believe in that. I see it. He deserves it, and he will do it. And the comeback's been incredible. You know, to be fair to Dubois, the comeback's also been incredible. But AJ's comeback from the Usyk 2 defeat to where he is now, not just where he is now and about to fight for the world heavyweight title.
Mentally?
Yeah. The way he's performing. You know, Ben's done a great job. The game plan's already in place. I can't wait.
Undercard, can you give us a little run through it? We've seen a late addition, which is Anthony
Well, the late, I
Kakachi
mean,
versus Josh
there's a lot of
Warrington.
late additions.
Yes,
We
I
were,
suppose. Tyler
shout
Denny.
out to George and Spencer. We've been working really hard, the three of us, on this card. Obviously, His Excellency runs everything, and he has to approve all the fights. He's got his own ideas of what fights to make, but us three have been, even till late last night. Tyler Denny against Hamza Shiraz got made yesterday.
What a story for Tyler.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, look at what happens when you headline on a Matchroom show. Your life changes forever. And then, of course, Josh Warrington against Kakachi got made last night at about 9 p.m.
Wow.
Liam Smith against Josh Kelly, fantastic all-British fight as well. And Boatsy against Hutchinson, out of nowhere, really. And every one of those fights is a headline fight. And I believe there's more to be added as well. Chamberlain against Padley,
Chamberlain is
he's on every show.
Living
Yeah,
life.
yeah. So great card.
Edward, not to criticise, because it's not a criticism, because we're so blessed with what we've got going on at the minute, but when you see something like a Kakachi Warrington, for example, it does obviously, that would be a main event in its own right, up in Leeds or whatever. What's now the sort of plan to make sure we still get those big
Well, I mean,
domestic-
we've got, when I look at our shows to make between September and December, we've probably had 4 or 5 options of big fights to make. Now we've got one less, because Leewood against Josh Warrington isn't happening. And I tried so hard to make that fight. Josh, I couldn't get a deal done with Lee. And Josh I don't feel sorry for him now, but he'd accepted that fight months ago, and, I didn't know where it was going. His Excellency liked the fight with Josh Warrington, and Josh has a chance to become a 3-time 2-division world champion in a great fight against Kakachi. So in answer to your question, there's plenty of fights to make. So stop fucking moaning.
I wasn't moaning.
Well, you are.
No,
I mean,
wasn't.
not moaning,
No, I'm
but
just
but
asking
why,
what the plan is then
why do you have to
instead.
do that?
No, it's a
why
question.
don't you just say, Ed, this is the most incredible night.
it
We
is.
are so
It is.
lucky to have
But
this
that doesn't
fight.
mean that I can't be curious about
No,
further
you're like an
contingency
England
plans.
football fan, you are. You're miserable.
But we're not fucking good, are we?
Listen, let me tell you something about England football, right? We've played like shit, right? I watched it last night for the first 15 minutes. I'm thinking, we've won the group, right? Part 1, over. If we lose on Sunday, we're out, right? And we can slag everybody off, and we can moan, and we can say, oh, it's happened again, or whatever. But until that moment, do you realise what positivity does to individuals and to people, to team of people? Do you honestly think that if our team feels like the whole nation is moaning and against them, and the pundits are giving them a hard time, and pundits don't like when players criticise the pundits for the punditry,
Opinions, yeah.
and they're right. Everyone's right, but I get it on both sides. But let's just do one thing, right? We have got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we play on Sunday, correct? Right?
Yeah.
Why don't we, as a country, instead of being half glass empty, instead of being a little bit negative, and we've got right to be because we ain't played well, but why don't we try and lift the team? Why don't we try and lift Southgate? Why don't we get on an unbelievable buzz for the next 3 or 4 days and say, do you know what? We haven't played well, but we are going to win in the knockout stages. We're going to turn it round, and I believe it's all going to come together at the right time. Because that's what it's about. It's about it coming together at the right time. Well, it doesn't matter what's happened in the last 3 games. We won the group. We're through. Why don't we focus on Sunday, right? Let's switch the mentality right now and say, come on, England. Come on, Kane. You've been unbelievable over the years. Foden, the skills to burn, mate. Etc, etc. Southgate, don't worry about what people say. Let's just get up them, and we'll win on Sunday. And if we lose, then we'll moan.
Very quickly, I know you've got to go. When I just spoke to AJ, I asked his thoughts on yourself and Frank cooperating and working together. He said it was fake.
Really?
Yes.
Did he?
And that money talks.
I would say money brought us together, but we're enjoying the experience.
Are you? Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
I like Frank. I get on with him. There's nothing fake about that. But money brought us together. So I guess,
Very quickly, Moises Calero was issued a 4-year ban despite passing away, very sadly.
Yeah.
Doesn't look great for you.
No, I mean, look, but it looks terrible for UCAD, but at the same time, they can't be responsible for necessarily knowing what everybody in the world, and I didn't know that myself. And he fought on my show, so thoughts with his family.
Well, Edward, if you were up top like you were at Soccer Aid, maybe the result would have been different.
Doesn't matter. No, but I'm not up top, so we've got to work with what we've got. Get behind our nation, get behind our country. If we lose in the knockout stages, have a moan. But until that day, let's fucking go.
Chase! Oh, I've been left hanging big time. Shocking.